The call came while I was on my knees, scrubbing a coffee stain that wasn't mine. "Where are you?" my wife's uncle snapped. "The new CEO is waiting for his office to be cleaned. Don't embarrass me." His voice cut clean. No warmth, no patience, just command. I looked up at the glass walls of the executive floor. Men in suits moved like chess pieces, purposeful, untouchable. I wasn't supposed to be late, but I'd given my lunch to a man outside the building. He wore a work uniform, gray, faded, the kind that erases people. He hadn't asked, he'd just looked at me, hungry, calm. I handed him the bag without thinking. Now my phone vibrated again, a message this time. "Move faster, he hates waiting." I stood, straightened my shirt. My reflection in the glass looked smaller than it should have been. As I pushed the cleaning cart toward the office, I felt it again, that sensation, like something important had already happened and I was the last one to realize it. My wife's uncle liked reminding me where I stood. "Your family," he'd say. Then he'd hand me a mop. I married his niece. That was my promotion. This job was my leash. For months, something had been off. Late nights, quiet smiles she didn't explain, her phone face down, always. I told myself it was stress. I told myself love didn't require surveillance. But love also doesn't smell like unfamiliar cologne. The first crack came 2 weeks ago. I'd come home early. She was in the shower. Her phone lit up on the counter. A single name. A. No message preview, just a missed call. I didn't touch the phone. I didn't need to. I already knew what silence meant. Still, I smiled that night, ate dinner, asked about her day. I learned something important then. Betrayal isn't loud. It whispers, and it waits to see if you're listening. I listened. I watched patterns form where chaos pretended to live. Her gym sessions lined up with the same nights my uncle worked late. Her excuses matched his absences. I didn't confront. I documented. I pulled phone records under the guise of fixing our plan. I memorized timestamps, locations. I learned how often love can be scheduled. At work, my uncle barked orders louder than usual, overcompensating. "You're slow today," he said. "Focus." I nodded, lowered my eyes. Inside, everything was sharp. Then I saw him again, the man from outside. He was standing near the elevators now. Same calm, different posture, still watching. He caught my eye, gave a small nod, like we shared something. An hour later I was told to bring coffee to the boardroom. I opened the door, and the room went silent. The man in the gray uniform sat at the head of the table, now wearing a suit that fit like truth. He looked at my uncle and smiled. "So," he said, voice smooth, measured, "what does he do here?" My uncle froze, not startled, cornered. I didn't move, didn't breathe. The man, the CEO, turned to me. "You gave me your lunch," he said. "Why?" I swallowed. "Because you were hungry." A pause, then a nod. Honest answer. He slid a folder across the table. Photos, messages, hotel receipts. My wife, my uncle. Their truth, printed and undeniable. "I don't tolerate corruption," the CEO said softly, "especially family corruption." My uncle's face collapsed inward. My wife wasn't there. She didn't need to be. This was never about yelling. This was about exposure. That night I went home early again. She was waiting, smiling. I handed her the folder. She didn't cry at first, just stared. "I know," I said. "I've always known." Her knees gave out. Mine didn't. "I stayed," I continued, "because I needed to see how far you'd go." Silence swallowed the room. "You chose power," I said, "and lost it." I left my ring on the table, not thrown, placed, deliberate. I don't clean offices anymore. The CEO offered me a position, strategy, oversight. I declined. Some victories aren't meant to be lived inside. I walk past the building sometimes, watch people rush. I feel nothing, not anger, not grief, just space. Betrayal taught me precision, revenge taught me restraint, and clarity? Clarity taught me this: I didn't lose my place in the world, I simply stepped out of theirs.